So, guys, we're here with Erick Wendel, influencer, teacher, communicator, performer in some way. So, it was really nice to see you yesterday. Your talk was really beautiful, and it was about JavaScript, of course. You really are into JavaScript. You really love teaching JavaScript. And why do you choose such a language to teach to people?
Sure. I think JavaScript is a very accessible language. I used to tell people, like, it's English. You don't have so many structures like Italian or Portuguese, so it's easier to get started. But I still try teaching because people sometimes just start working and stop studying. It's good to get started, but you should keep studying because it's a whole world to keep studying, right? It's crazy.
Yeah. And you have many students that are working and they keep studying.
Yes, now I'm focusing my career now on teaching people who's in the intermediate to senior developers.
Oh yeah.
So those people are trying to find new jobs, to increase salaries. So they are trying to think, well, should I get more specialized in JavaScript, or should I learn more front end or back end? And my point is, you should have a base. The base, the fundamentals, is not basics. It's the base. What is JavaScript and what's the difference between JavaScript and TypeScript?
Yeah.
I get this a lot and was like, you can do it. In fact, in my talk, I got questions like, for you who's watching, my talk was about 10 design patterns for JavaScript developers. So I showed everything with no bundles and just using JavaScript. And they started asking, can I use this on React? Can I use this in Angular? I said, it's JavaScript.
Can I do this with TypeScript?
Yeah, my God. So it happens a lot. So people, sometimes I think they are so into frameworks that they forget what is the language behind it.
Really true. And you're also a contributor of Node.js. What's your thinking about the current state of the Node.js environment?
Well, I would say now we have competitors, right?
Yeah.
We have Dino, we have Buon. And some people said, oh, is this time for Node to die? But I think...
Like they say with PHP?
PHP, Java, long time. I think this competition is amazing because they are not competing. They are collaborating with each other. So right now in Node.js, we have a new performance working group because we're like, oh my God, those competitors, they are really fast. How can we make Node.js faster without breaking, changing, right? So now we have a new, I would say weekly, new changes improving the Node.js performance.
Yeah.
We have now more user experience features like testing. We have now the watch mode, so you don't need to use any more node mode, for example. Probably, I don't know when, so a spoiler, we're gonna have like a HTTP server. When a native flag for you to serve your files statically. So this is something for me that I'm really looking forward, because when we have something in Node.js native, we don't have to take care about dependencies, we don't have to take care about security, because it's all built in. And just complementing, one thing nice is we are adding a bunch of new features, but you realize Node.js is not getting slower, but we have a lot of new behaviors, right? What we do behind the scenes, everything is lazy load. So if you want to use test, when you require, now I'm going to put this object in memory and you're going to start using. If you don't call any module, we don't initialize it. So it's way faster.
Perfect. And sorry. A question that just came up. Do you think there's something in the Node.js environment that if you had to design it today, would you do it differently? Like in the Node.js or I don't know, or in the NPM environment, or like the ecosystem around Node.js? That's something that you would do differently today.
Well, I would say it's hard to tell because there's so many talented people working hard there. But I would say if I could implement right before when Node.js arrived, I would say, let's use something like ECMAScript modules since the beginning.
Wow.
Since the beginning.
I knew that.
The problem is, I think Node.js wasn't designed to use the same APIs or the same language as in the browser. Just to give an example. If you use require, it's only on Node.js. if you use global variables, and the way to import scripts in the browser is different. So we have a bunch of process.env, which works only on Node.js. So I think back then, if we establish, okay, let's get the API that's running in the browser, and let's think in the future that this might run in our application. But again, it's over 10 years, right? There are some comments about Ryan Dahl. He was saying, when I built this, I thought it was like a proof of concept. I never thought it was like a big thing someday. So this is something about technology, right? Sometimes we don't expect. It's just a common problem, and we are trying to solve it, and fortunately, we are here because of it today, right?
Okay, I have one last question. You have an advice for people who would like to contribute to the ecosystem, or people who would like to enter the open source world for the first time, to start contributing?
Well, I would say this involves for you who's seeking for new careers or seeking for changing jobs. I think this all applies. Fill your GitHub with projects. Every day or at least every week, try creating something, because you get used to code in public, you get used to people reviewing your code, and this might help. But if you wanna choose some big projects like Sign.js, Node.js Core, or the libraries, you can go there and try seeing the pull requests, the issues, and don't start working yet. Comment and say, I wanna help. Sometimes, I would say most of the times, some contributors will jump in and tell step by step for you how you can do this. So the community is really amazing. So it's amazing.
I know that. Thank you very much, Eric.
All right, thank you for having me. Very nice.
Let's do a selfie for commemorating this moment.
Woohoo! Woo!